This unveiling is not about denying anyone's identity. It is about allowing Scripture, history, and prophecy to speak for themselves, so that those connected to this covenant story can recognize it. Now, step into what was hidden. From before creation, we trace the covenant. From the covenant, we trace the promise. And now, with the precision of Scripture, we explore the people who carried that covenant through history. Identity was not lost. It was concealed. A story rewritten. A people scattered. A truth buried beneath empire and time. For they said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Psalm 83:4. And today, we revisit what was forgotten. Identity is not a costume. Identity is not a title. Identity is covenant. The covenant is not an idea. It is not symbolic. It is not merely spiritual. The covenant is lineage, oath, inheritance, and consequence. And the people of the covenant carry the marks of that covenant in their story, their trials, their scattering, and their destiny. Identity is not guessed. Identity is not voted on. Identity is not assigned by nations. Identity is revealed by Scripture. Covenant lineage. Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to the 12 tribes. Covenant signs. Blessing for obedience. Consequence for rebellion. Covenant prophecy. A future foretold for a wandering nation. Scripture does not hide them. Prophecy does not erase them. History does not silence them. Scripture does not describe the ancient covenant people as pale figures imagined by later traditions. It describes them as they were. Moses, mistaken for an Egyptian. In Exodus, Moses is raised in Pharaoh's household. When he flees Egypt and arrives in Midian, the daughters of Reuel describe him as, "An Egyptian delivered us." Exodus 2:19. Paul, mistaken for an Egyptian. A Roman commander asks Paul, "Aren't you the Egyptian who started a revolt?" Acts 21:38. Israel, compared to the Cushites. The beloved, dark as the tents of Kedar. The speaker says, "Dark am I, like the tents of Kedar." Song 1:5. These descriptions are not theories. They are scripture. They are history. They are descriptions of a people whose appearance was rooted in their ancestry, their lineage, their identity. A people belonging to the Afro-Asiatic world, not darkened by the sun, but described as dark in the text itself. Not by accident, not by climate, but by origin. This is not speculation. This is scripture. This is the ancient world speaking in its own voice. And when we listen, the portrait becomes clear. A people standing among Egyptians, Cushites, and Semitic civilizations, not as strangers, but as neighbors. If blessing identifies the faithful, then consequence identifies the unfaithful. Deuteronomy 28 is not poetry. It is prophecy. It is a pattern carved into the story of nations. Yokes of iron, children taken, families torn apart. A people carried away against their will. Ships, not of travel, but of captivity. A return to Egypt, not the land, but the condition of bondage. Names lost, heritage erased, identity fractured. A people scattered into lands they did not know, serving powers they did not choose. And Moses said these things would become a sign and a wonder upon thy seed forever. Deuteronomy 28:46. A visible marker, a prophetic identifier, not for one generation, but for all their descendants. This means the covenant people would be recognizable in history, not by modern labels, not by politics, not by the inventions of nations, but by the very signs Moses listed. A people enslaved, scattered, renamed, stripped, and silenced. A people whose identity faded beneath empire and time. A people whose story echoes the prophetic pattern with a precision that feels mathematical. Because prophecy leaves fingerprints on the pages of history. History does not whisper, it speaks. It carves its testimony into stone, clay, and memory. Ancient art, ancient carvings, ancient scrolls, ancient eyewitness accounts. Egypt carved the people they saw every day. Assyria carved the captives and travelers they encountered. Roman writers described the peoples of the Near East, dark-skinned, shaped by the crossroads of Africa and Asia. Across empires and centuries, the imagery is consistent. A people woven into the Afro-Asiatic world, neighbors to Egyptians, Cushites, and Semitic tribes. Not strangers, but part of the same ancient tapestry. History aligns with Scripture. Artifacts align with Scripture. Prophecy aligns with Scripture. Only modern assumptions struggle to keep up.
So who are the covenant people? They are the people who match the lineage, match the story, match the scattering, match the prophetic pattern, match the echoes of history. They are the people who were taken, enslaved, shipped into lands unknown, renamed, reclassified, silenced, forgotten by the world, and eventually by themselves. A people told they were nothing, a people taught to forget, a people whose memory was buried beneath empire and time. Yet prophecy does not forget. History does not forget. The covenant does not forget. Identity was not lost. It was buried beneath time, empire, and the shifting sands of history. Yet truth does not disappear. It waits. It survives in fragments, in memory, in Scripture, and in the resilience of a people who carried their story through every trial. The covenant did not break. The lineage did not vanish. The signs did not fade. For even scattered, even silenced, a people remain marked by the covenant they inherited, in their endurance, in their journey, in their rising. And as the pages of history are re-examined, as forgotten stories return to the surface, as identity awakens from beneath centuries of dust, one truth becomes clear. What was hidden is being remembered. What was fractured is being restored. What was silenced is finding its voice again. This is not the end of the story, but the moment the story begins to speak for itself. Episode 2 ends here. Like, share, subscribe.